Hi Feedfeed, my name is Rachel and I am the food blogger behind Bakerita, and you are watching the second episode of Wholesome Treats with Rachel. We are going to be making a no-bake chocolate raspberry tart. This recipe is super easy to make. There's only 9 ingredients, no baking necessary, and it's gluten-free, paleo, and vegan. These are all the ingredients that we're gonna need. We got almond flour, a little bit of maple syrup, coconut oil, salt, dark chocolate, coconut milk, cocoa powder, raspberries, and a bit of raspberry jam. Alright, about to start making the crust. First, make sure you've got a nicely greased tart pan with a removable bottom. Makes it a lot easier to take out once it's all set. So you're going to start with the almond flour. And to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder and a pinch of salt, and just give that a little mix before we add the wet ingredients. And now that that's all mixed, we're adding some melted coconut oil and a tablespoon of maple syrup. And that's all for the crust. Just gonna mix this up till it's nice and combined. So once it's ready, you'll see that it holds together. We are just gonna take this and pour it right into that tart pan. I'll get the rest out. So I just used my fingers to press the tart crust in roughly, and now I'm just using a measuring cup with a flat bottom to press the bottom to make it totally smooth and get it pressed up the sides, like that. All right, the crust is done. Got it pressed up the sides, probably about 3/4 of the way up. Gonna pop this into my very full fridge to set while I make the filling. So right now I've got some canned coconut cream heating in the microwave till it's steaming hot, and that's going to be used to melt the chocolate. And I'm also going to be adding some of this mashed raspberry. Normally I use a sugar-free raspberry preserve, but I didn't have any sugar-free raspberry preserves on hand, so instead I just microwaved some frozen raspberries that I had and mashed them up till they're sort of a preserved consistency. Just microwaved this coconut milk for a minute. It's super steamy, and just gonna pour it over this dark chocolate, and the heat of the hot coconut milk will melt the chocolate. Just gonna let this stand for 1 minute. Chocolate is just about melted, so just gonna whisk this real good till it becomes nice and glossy with all of the cream incorporated. It should look a little like that when it's all done. Is melted chocolate not the most beautiful thing ever? Okay, and then to that we are gonna add the raspberry preserves and mix those in. Got the raspberry preserves in there, just giving a quick whisk. And if you use a seeded kind, it will have little flecks. I totally don't mind this because the raspberries add such a nice burst of tartness and freshness. We've got the melted chocolate, the firmed up tart, and just going to dump this right on top. Yum. We're almost done. Just spreading out that chocolate. Check that out, you guys. Unreal, and it tastes so good. And then we're just gonna top it with some of these fresh rasps. So I'm just gonna arrange these raspberries on top, and I'll be back in a minute to show you the finished product. All nice and covered in raspberries. The chocolate is looking luscious, and I'd love to dig into it right now, but it's got to set in the fridge to let the chocolate firm up for about an hour, maybe 2. Alright guys, it's been in about an hour. The tart is nice and firm, and it's about to dig in, if you ask me. Check that out. The chocolate is nice and firm with those raspberries nestled in there. And the best part, slicing in to get a piece. Heck yeah, guys. Check that out. I would also like to mention that you could sub in your favorite berry here. Blueberries, strawberries would all be good, or a combo. Just use sugar-free preserve instead of the raspberry in there. Time to dig in. Oh my god, you guys. So rich, so chocolatey with that little burst of fruitiness from the raspberry. That's all, folks. I seriously wish that I could give each and every one of you a slice of this tart, partially so I don't eat it all myself, and also because you guys have got to try how good it is. So rich and so chocolatey, so easy. You can find this recipe and tons more at bakerita.com or follow me on Instagram at bakeritablog. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the second episode of Wholesome Treats with Rachel, and I hope to see all of you around soon.